Welcome to Shonen Flop Chibi, a first impressions mini episode where we talk about the first chapter of the series that we'll be covering in depth next week with our guest Steve Yurko from the One Piece podcast. I'm Jordan, and with me today, as usual, is my lovely co-host David. Say hi, David.
Hi, David.
And what series are we covering this week, David?
We're covering Protect Me, Shugomaru. And I love how you said the intro, you kind of sounded like, I don't know how to describe it, but you kind of talked the way like inflatable tube men dance. Like, welcome to this episode of Shonen Flop Chibi.
A little bit of my thought process here. I am very aware of the fact that I read it in like the same voice and it bothers me, so I try and just shake up how I say it, which makes it sound very strange sometimes.
It's okay, because listener, if you laughed at this bit, it means you've laughed more than we did while reading this entire chapter.
It means you laughed more than David did during that entire chapter.
So Jordan, why don't you tell us about what this manga is about?
Well, this manga is Protect Me, Shugomaru. It was written by Daiki Ihara, and the run dates were between November 22nd, 2021 and June 6th, 2022. And it went for 26 chapters and 3 volumes. Yeah.
That is one chapter more than the last series we read. Crazy how I just knew that offhand.
Yeah, definitely not because you had the wrong information there and we just had to update it and do that whole take again or anything like that. That didn't happen, listener. No, what?
Crazy.
But yeah, no, this it's a manga about just like a little guy.
The manga's really the difference between 5'11" and 6 foot.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Protect Me, Ben Shapiro. Anyway.
It was weird when he stopped for 2 pages to talk about the gold standard.
Yeah, that was kind of strange, but, why don't we get into the first chapter plot summary?
Do it, man, do it.
Sanagi Ojo is a young girl who is the last remaining heiress to the Ojo conglomerate, but an assassin named Skull has been rumored to be after her, so she gets a bodyguard and he's David, he's not quite who she was expecting.
Whoa. You know what? I just realized this entire manga feels like it is a fake manga created for a cutaway joke for Family Guy.
A little bit. I see where you're coming with that. Yeah.
Like Build King, where this feels like a fake manga invented for a different piece of medium.
Oh, I disagree with comparing it to Build King.
You're right. This is worse.
Oh, fuck you.
It's not. I just wanted to offset you.
I know. Anyway, his name is Shugomaru, the only member of the Teko clan who just isn't busy right now. He's 10 years old, he's just a little guy, and he's doing his best. He's unbelievably overprotective, though, and blows up Sanagi's wall to stop a bee. Sanagi then attends a public school, hoping to get a boyfriend who's not a weird, rich prat. Shugomaru starts defending her, freezing a guy who tries to hit on her, making her wear a belt with hands that pushes everyone away, and all around making her life miserable. Shugomaru defends her so hard that he electrocutes her into unconsciousness. And I do want to clarify during this whole time, Shugomaru is doing this because he thinks that the assassin's Skull is attacking her, and he wants to be extra sure that she's alright. Popcorn David.
She wakes up and a cute boy from school is there, but oh no, he's an assassin. Turns out that all those wacky things Shugomaru was doing were actually foiling his plans to brutally kill her. Shugomaru leaps out of nowhere and gets slashed with a knife in Sanagi's place, but thankfully he has extra blood because of his training.
That was so good. Oh my god. He just jumps out, he gets slashed with a knife, and she's like, oh my god, Shugomaru, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, it's fine, whatever.
I have extra blood, It's fine.
It's like so nonplussed, does not give a shit. Total Chad.
Yeah, Shugomaru, Chadamaru.
Yes.
Shugomaru tosses the guy he froze before Adam and electrocutes him with lightning, again shocking Sanagi. Shugomaru and Sanagi have what seemed to be a boring plot about how they used to know each other. Whatever. Also want to say that assassins seem to have been using Ichigo's sword from Bleach.
Yes. It might have been that. It might have also just been a big-ass, like, generic butcher's knife, because that's the whole point of Ichigo's big sword, that just looks like a big, fucked-up butcher knife.
Yeah. But it turns out, however, that it's a different assassin, not the one they were worried about, which means that there's still another guy to worry about because this manga is not 1 chapter long.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. No, they took out the main guy they were worried about in the first chapter. It was amazing.
Fujimoto's like, fuck, why can't I make my plot resolve that fast?
I would love a manga where it's like the entire story gets wrapped up in the first chapter, and then chapter 2 comes out and they're just like, well, shit, what do we do now? And they just have to like screw around and it turns into like a slice of life manga.
That sounds pretty great, actually.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go to the first impressions. I gotta say, first off, David, the scene where Shugomaru electrocutes the bad guy and then she gets electrocuted the next page. Not only did it make me laugh like legitimately out loud, like actually, I thought it was really funny. It also was a really clever use of panels and like page layouts, because the way it was set up was you look at it and it's a 2-page spread. And in every single Shonen Jump manga I've ever read, you don't follow up a 2-page spread with another 2-page spread. But the next 2-page spread was like the same scene, but Sanagi was getting electrocuted. And I wasn't expecting it. It was a really funny joke. It took me off guard.
So, Jordan, I think I made a classic mistake in the manga reviewing space.
Yep.
Where I had just read the latest chapter of Chainsaw Man before reading this.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's why I'm so hard on this.
Yeah. Also, like, it's not like I don't see why somebody doesn't like this manga. I mean, the art style is it's very loose. It's a very, you could argue bad. I don't think I would say that. I think that it's going for a very simpler style, I would say, and I cut it some slack for that.
I mean, here's the thing, Jordan. We've read High School Family. You know what someone doing this art style that's actually talented, what it looks like.
It's a different art style.
I don't know. I just think I did not find the art appealing like I did with High School Family.
The art is very clearly rudimentary, but I like how he's using it. I think that he's writing the exact kind of manga where his art style fits. I think it gives a certain kind of aesthetic that you don't get from High School Family. It's a different style and a different thing he's going for.
I mean, also, why is there so much dialogue?
Well, because the art isn't that great. What? Oh, the art's gonna keep you there?
It should.
Well, if it's one kind of manga.
Jordan, you saying, oh, well, he has a lot of text to make up for how bad the art is not the excuse you're looking for.
I liked some of the dialogue. Sometimes, I'm remembering
I
now.
sent you a screenshot where I was like, why is there so much fucking text in a gag manga, my guy?
Yeah, no, totally. There's a lot of text on there, and I got very confused during this part because they were talking about the mechanics of the thing that he used to, like, freeze the guy, and I just did not care. But I thought it was really funny how they froze the guy, and then we're just like, all right, bye, let's just leave.
I think, though, we can't argue about the quality of this anymore because you think that's funny in a way I don't. But here is the main issue I have with this series, Jordan. Mm-hmm. Tell me a single thing this series does that Witch Watch doesn't do infinitely better.
Excuse me, David. Witch Watch doesn't have a little guy. You know, they don't have a little guy. He's just doing his best.
Yes, they do.
They do?
Yeah, the vampire guy.
Oh, I didn't get that far. Witch Watch, he is not the daughter of the head of a conglomerate, and neither is she. Excuse me.
Jordan right now is like, fuck, he just boomed me real good.
David, obviously Witch Watch is better than this. Obviously.
You can't come back from that. You're like, yeah, it's the same fucking plot as Witch Watch.
Yeah, so?
Witch Watch is, by the way, still really fucking good.
Witch Watch is definitely better than this, just from the one chapter I've read. Like, maybe I'm being easier on this manga because the art style, because I was just expecting absolutely nothing from this. Like, I saw the art style, I was like, this is gonna be trash, and then it actually just made me laugh, and I thought it was, like, kind of cute and charming. I don't know.
I think this series is like other things we've read where someone said, yeah, like a 17-year-old made this. I'd be like, wow, that's really good. This is way below the quality I would expect from a professional publication. Nonetheless, Shonen Jump.
I don't know. I think you're too rigid in the styles of art that you would choose. I mean,
but it's also not funny.
It is. I think it's funny, but like even still, I'm looking at it more, and like the art is a little more solid than I gave it credit for. All right, I'm looking at it like I don't know. Look, I've seen a lot of really shitty art. All right.
Yeah, I know you've seen my drawings.
Yeah, I've seen you drawing. I've seen my early drawings. You know, I've seen deviant art.
Then I guess, Jordan, we're just going to have to wait and see.
Oh, I really have to point out something that has been worrying the shit out of me since I noticed it, which is on the Shonen Jump app and on the website too, it says that Chapter 8 is age-gated?
Yeah, apparently there's some form of male nudity in it, based on the comments in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're going to see some dong.
If it's just like the normal little boy penis that you see in like Dragon Ball, then like whatever.
He is 10, so we'll see.
Because I read that and I was like, oh my god, what are they going to do to these children? Oh my fucking god.
I will say that one thing I did enjoy was that the 10-year-old has, like, anxiety. And I was like, oh, that's a fun character trait, that this character legitimately has anxiety and is, like, neuroatypical. So I think that could be something fun and unique about this series, even though he is still 10, so it makes it all kind of weird.
I don't know if only neuroatypical people have anxiety, but what he said was, well, then again, I might be forgetting about what you're referring to.
He's talking about the reason why he did stuff like use the grenade against the bee was like, I've got really bad anxiety when it comes to protecting people.
I don't know if that was like him saying, oh, I'm sorry, I have mental illness. I think he was saying he just has, the actual thing is where it's like he blew up the building to like protect her and they're like, why though? And he's like, I've done it again. I just obsess over the job and develop tunnel vision. And yeah, I really liked that. I thought that was hilarious because just the way he did it. I think this author has good comedic timing for manga.
Well, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt and we'll see how it improves. So I will say our Discord trashed it.
Well, our Discord probably trashes a lot of things that I like.
They really don't. They have good taste.
I don't like this that much. It's just that David hates it so much that I feel like I have to defend it more than I usually would.
That's fine.
This is not a great manga. This was better than I thought it would be.
So you're saying, though, you still would say this is some sort of flop?
I think that the first chapter was funny enough to me that I would be willing to read a little more. So let's say, David, would you read 10 more chapters of this? I'm going to say no.
Fuck no.
I think I would, you know?
I was going to say I'd rather reread the latest chapter of Chainsaw Man 10 times, but I was like, that's like 90% of manga.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not fair.
Almost all manga ever made, I'd rather just reread Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, come on. By the way, the new chapter was pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, listener, you'll find out in our new weekly podcast, The Chainsaw Man It, where Jordan and I talk about each week's chapter. You can find those on every Friday.
If we didn't do that, then we wouldn't
be true to ourselves.
We would pollute the main episode and just completely derail all of our other episodes that talk about Chainsaw Man. More so than we usually do.
I feel like you should just read more Witch Watch.
I should do that too. David, it's occurred to me that there is a huge difference here, which might explain a little bit about why we're having different reactions. I don't think I've read as much gag manga as you have. There are things that might not be as funny to you because, like, you've seen these tropes more than me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So, Jordan, though, what do you think's going to happen next?
Well, my first guess is just, oh god, there is something terrible lurking in Chapter 8 that is going to ruin the entire series for me, and that still might be true. I don't know that for sure.
Dong.
Yeah, just dong hiding everywhere. Shugomaru is an ageless, eternal being, much like Araki and Keanu Reeves. That's my second guess. Because here's the thing, David, they show the flashback, and she's a little girl, but he's the exact same height, and like...
He was born from sea foam.
He was born 10, and he will die 10.
Just like you're born at 10 and you'll die at 10.
Exactly. And I guess the last one is, I don't think they're gonna defeat Skull.
Really?
Really? Yeah, I don't know.
That's a solid guess. So
yeah.
My guesses, though, are this series becomes a straight-up battle manga as it tries to save itself.
Oh, God.
The main character has some sort of magical power.
Well, yeah.
And Jordan, I guess I can already get the because I should legitimately guessed before we started recording that Jordan would like the series more than me.
See, here's the thing. You said more than you, which is, like, not fair.
I mean, Jordan, you very substantially like the series more than me.
Well, I like this chapter more than you.
That's fair. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I mean, look, it's a good guess.
All right. But Jordan, what's your power word?
Cute, because this is cute, David. This is a little guy. He's just a little guy doing his best. Cute.
My power word for the series is lame.
Yeah.
The series just is fucking lame, dude.
Okay. If you say so.
There's no pun or anything. I just straight up think this series is lame.
How dare you? How dare you, David?
You're welcome.
All this time, was it just a front? You're hiding this hatred and this ignorance within you.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to Q&A.
Time for the Q&A. So just as a reminder, feel free to post your questions in the Discord. We have a Q&A section. As a note, everyone is welcome to be in the Discord, post their questions, but we do give priority to people that have not asked a question before, had their question answered in a long time, or are a King of the Forest or up patron.
David has a little algorithm that makes sure it's all fair. It's true.
I do. Inspired by Space Jam with the villain Algae Rhythm. The only good part of Space Jam 2 was the name of the main villain.
They could have either gone Algae Rhythm. Like, what if it was Algae Rhythm and they just had Sacha Baron Cohen?
Well, Sacha Baron Cohen would have had to play him.
Exactly.
But, you know, Don Cheadle did a pretty great job playing the villain of Space Jam.
the least threatening guy in the world.
Yep. Hey, you looking for this?
Yeah, God.
Space Jam 3. All right. So, speaking though of patrons, let's go. First one from Generic Man. What's a genre or setting you haven't really seen tackled in a manga or anime that you would like to see?
Well, I would like to see a manga where the characters defeat the main bad guy in the first chapter, and then they spend the rest of the series just hanging out and trying to figure out what to do next.
That is pretty great.
It's an idea I just came up with a second ago, you know.
I really wish that there was a good shonen western manga or post-apocalyptic manga. I think we talked about it before, where I always get my hopes up and then I'm like, oh, this was like, I mean, Gunblaze West sucks.
Trigun.
Besides Trigun. Trigun's the only good western manga.
Ooh, it might be. Shit.
It's not Gunblaze West.
I mean, it's definitely not Gunblaze West. It's like, I feel like I'm forgetting one, but I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, until I think of another one, I agree. It's the only good Western manga. Let's see. Let's another one, because that last one was kind of a joke. What? No, I'm drawing a blank. Fuck it. That was my answer. Whatever.
There you go. All right. From the Laughing Fool, do you consider a distinction between American movie/TV shows and anime when you consider your favorites?
Ooh.
Yeah, I definitely bucket them. How about you?
I absolutely think about them differently, like in my head, kind of, but I try not to really create as much of a distinction. I try and look at it as more of these are different art, these are different versions of some kind of visual art. But also, you know, there are some cultural differences that you have to keep in mind when you're watching anime and
you
stuff.
gotta hide your power level.
You gotta hide your power level. I might see somebody sexualized that makes me very uncomfortable. I just have to be prepared for that, I guess. So
Jordan just has learned not to tell everyone his favorite TV show is Boku no Pico.
Oh, that's gotcha.
All right.
Yeah.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, all right. Next up is from Himiko Toga, parentheses male. Okay. How far along do you think One Piece is?
I think the general consensus, and David, you would know this far more than me, isn't it that he's got like a year left, people are thinking?
Whoa, no, not remotely. He's got like 5 to 7 years left. He is in the final arc, but like it's like essentially at the very least he's gonna spend as much time as he spent on Wano.
Okay, so it's gonna be like his Namek. Well, he's had multiple Nameks at this point, I think.
It's not like the last story arc, it's the last saga. So like there could be 2 or 3 arcs inside of that. So I'm gonna guess 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
So I think One Piece will probably end around the end of this decade.
Yeah. But you can't say for sure. Nobody can say for sure.
Except for Steve and Paul.
That's true. That's the better answer than I could have come up with. So there you go.
Thank you. I am your better half.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up, we have from Dude Rocks. I think first time asking a question. Has there ever been a mangaka where you thought their writing was great, but their art was consistently awful?
I
mean, Tagashi really should have a ghost artist. Or just he needs to team up with an artist. That's just really how it is.
Yeah, his writing is definitely better than his art, but I do still like his art. I would not say his art was awful. I would say it might not be as good as his writing is.
Yeah, I feel like it's very hard to find writers that we've covered. I'm trying to think if there was any series that were really poorly written. I mean, like the guy who made Golem Hearts probably, but I can't think of a series off the top of my head that had good writing but bad art.
So here's the thing. I think we got a couple things going against us here, which is a lot of Shonen Jump writers are pretty young, and I feel like writing is a skill where sometimes it just takes people a while to get good at writing. And the other thing is we have a huge language gap. We have a language barrier and have to rely on, on translators. And I think that does kind of harm how the writing comes across sometimes. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's kind of unavoidable. So yeah, pretty much. I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's a lot of gag manga like that, Yeah. There's a lot of slice of life manga like that too, probably. I just don't read a lot of slice of life manga.
You just don't read any manga?
I just don't read any manga. I consume nothing.
All right, next question from the Stone Hermit. What do you think the next big trend of manga and anime will be?
It seems like the big things that are going to influence people are Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen, I think, are going to be like huge touchstones that people are going to copy off of, I think, for one thing. I mean, we already saw it with Ayashimon. Yeah. I think manga's going to get maybe a little bloodier, which honestly would be nice.
I also think it would be great to have more manga that delve into mental health and like the repercussions of all the fighting and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that well.
I mean, it's just a topic that's taboo. I also think LGBT themes are going to become more important in Shonen Jump. Like you've seen it even in major series like One Piece has an openly trans character, not the one you're thinking of, a different one.
There's actually a few.
Yeah. Better positive representation of LGBT characters in shonen, I think, is going to become a bigger part as it seems to be growing in social acceptance in Japan.
That'd be really nice, because, like, it is still, like, whenever two people of the same sex kiss in manga or anime, they have to put, like, a censor bar over their lips, you know? Like, it's weird. Like, it happens in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
And yeah, it would be nice if that could go away and they could actually, like, have these people appear, like, as themselves and stuff. Anyway, yeah. Next question, David. How many flops would a flop stopper stop if a flop stopper could stop flops?
6.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for everyone who submitted questions.
Yeah, thanks, Albie. That was by Albie, by the way. Thanks, Albie.
All right. Thank you, everyone who submitted your questions.
And wait. My answer?
No one cares.
My answer's 7. Fuck you.
I love you too, man. Shall we wrap this bad boy up?
Let's do it.
Jordan, I want to say thank you so much for editing the Chibi episode.
You're very welcome.
I also want to give props to Shannon for the awesome cover art. You can find her online at illuminyatea. Thank you, Dylan, for assistance with editing. You can find his podcast, Anime Out of Context, at animeoutofcontext.com. Thanks to Tucker and Maxie B for assistance with pronunciation, translation, other miscellaneous research. Thanks to T-Root, OzyRat, and T-Wolfwood for being our awesome transcription volunteers. You can find them on our site as they become available. And you can find us on Twitter.
David, real quick.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks for editing.
No problem, babe. You can find us on Twitter at...
Oh my god. Watch Miss... Oh my god. What the fuck? Listen to Mission Ignition. Jesus fucking Christ. Holy shit.
You can find us on Twitter at Shonen Flopcast and our website, shonenflop.com. We're also on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever else you get our podcast. And come join the Shonen Flop Discord, as we talked about. It's open to everyone, patron or not. Come hang out with us and talk about anime, games, or whatever else is on your mind. We also have a monthly movie night. You can find a link to it in the show notes or on our site. And if you've been enjoying the podcast and want to help us keep going, consider subscribing to our Patreon. We just released our biggest Patreon episode ever. Jordan and I read 25 chapters, 3 volumes of PPPPPP. Did our opinions change versus our thoughts on the first chapter? You'll have to listen and find out. I want to start by giving a big thank you to all of our Beast Children. And then going from the top, we have our wonderful Chainsaw Man, Pterodactyl Ghost. Rem is so thick, his ass claps when he walks and the world echoes with applause.
Damn.
Moving on down to the Dolphin Dad, we have Tracking Roving Animals for All Loving Girls and Raccoons Wolfwood. Then the King of the Forest, we have Albie, Cram, Gabe Lando, Jacob Andrew Galloway, Josh Robinson, Marty, Rachel, my lovely girlfriend, Tummy Aches Galore, Scarlet Mirrodin, T, The Real Jory, The BB King, BB The, and our most recently upgraded patron, my friend and dear coworker, Trevor Schechner.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you, Trevor, so much for giving me a ride from our hike when we got absolutely soaked.
Whoa.
From the rain.
Damn. Sure. All right.
And then in the world of the Galactic Ball Federation officers, we have Blah Moo Moo, BS, Dolphin, Dylan Crider, Ego, Alex Eric Klein, Generic Man, Hans, Lincoln Frey, Marabara, Mike Carpenter, who I think I'll be seeing in person by the time you're listening to this, and Peter Hunt Svektek. Again, just let me know if I'm fucking that up. Sarah Hydra, Shingi Sankamoto, Silly Rookie, Simping for Senpai Ash, Staghorn, and that one welder guy. You are all just absolutely fantastic people.
You know, every time I hear Sarah Hydra's name, I feel like somebody's going, is there a Hydra?
Yeah, you've actually met Sarah, or talked to Sarah.
No, I have. I'm just saying, every time you say her name, though, I just have that thought. Like, is there a Hydra? Where is it?
I'll have to let her know.
Anyway, listener, I told you I'd be back, and here I am. Thank you so much for listening.
Except for your many interjections during when I was reading them.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Thank you so much for listening to Shonen Flop. This has been Jordan.
This has been David.
And you've been listening to Shonen Flop. David, say it.
Keep on flopping, floppers.
Bye. Yeah.